Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Ari Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
Okay, we're still here in Perek Daled. Be'er Kenias Azihiros. How are we according to the meat of Zihiros? And we're here at the example of Yosef. Yosef, who was a big tzaddik. Yosef, tzaddik Yesod Olam, who we still, every day, we have the koichos of Yosef HaTzaddik. He also had to be misaken, had to fix something that was done wrong. And here it brings an example. Lefisha Amar the Sar HaMashkim ki im zechartani itcha nitozvu lotei shonim k'mamaram zal. Chazal teach us an amazing thing about Yosef. Yosef, after he told the Sar HaMashkim, by the way, in another 3 days, Pharaoh's going to bring you back. That's what your dream means. And he told the Sar HaOfim, that in another 3 days, you're going to be hanging from the gallows. And he was true. He was right. And he said to Sar HaMashkim, remember me and tell Paro about me so that I can get out of this place. And the pasuk says that he was spent another 2 years after that in prison. And the Medrash says that the 2 years was because he said this to the Sar HaOfim, was because of that. And it's an amazing thing. What exactly did Yosef do wrong? I mean, everybody has to do a little bit of Hishtadlus for themselves, don't they? You know, isn't that the right thing to do? And the Medrash actually says, that Yosef was punished for this, for asking Sar HaMashkim, The Medrash says that Yosef had more bitachon, had a tremendous amount of bitachon. He was the epitome of bitachon. He had Hashem with him all the time. He saw Hashem in everything. Every his words were draws from Hashem. And even here, he was with Hashem. So I heard a nice idea from my Rebbe that the word over here was not a problem in bitachon. It wasn't that Yosef was lacking in bitachon. He wasn't lacking in bitachon. Rather, the point that Yosef did wrong, that he needed to be punished these 2 years, was that he did too much Hishtadlus. He had a tremendous amount of bitachon, but he felt that even with all my bitachon, I still need to do a ma'aseh of Hishtadlus. And that's why he said to the Sar HaMashkim that you should remember me, because he felt that he needed to do this Hishtadlus. What was wrong then? What was wrong was this Hishtadlus wasn't even considered to be Hishtadlus. He knew he couldn't rely on the Sar HaMashkim. He knew that the Sar HaMashkim was only interested in himself and he wasn't going to do something nice for somebody else. And therefore, it wasn't even called Hishtadlus. If it wasn't called Hishtadlus, so then it was just an act of Yeush. Meaning he was just grasping at straws. Meaning the cheshbon that Yosef made was a little bit wrong. That was the problem. It wasn't that Yosef had any issue with bitachon. It wasn't his bitachon was a problem. But sometimes we're just going to try to do things just for the sake of doing them, even though we know they're not going to help. And that was the issue over here. Yosef knew the Sar HaMashkim wasn't a person you could trust, you could rely on. He knew that, but he felt he had to do something anyway to be yoytze his Hishtadlus. But in this situation, it was the wrong thing to do, because it wasn't even called Hishtadlus. Therefore, the whole thing was a waste. And that's why he had to be stuck in for 2 years. So, of course, we can learn from here how much we have to work on our bitachon as well. But even more than that, we have to think about it. Am I doing something, when I'm doing Hishtadlus for something, am I doing it in a way that's really Hishtadlus? Is that really proper Hishtadlus? If I work an extra 3 hours, do I really going to make more money or not? Well, it looks like I am. It looks like I'm going to make more money. But it depends on a lot of things, because there's always a trade-off. There's a trade-off. By working those extra 3 hours, what am I giving up for that? Am I giving up more of my learning time? Am I giving up time helping with my children? Am I giving up time with my wife? So there's always a trade-off. You have to know, am I doing the right Hishtadlus or not? And it's something that a lot of people are biased, and a person would do well to ask an outside party, a Rav, a Rebbe, is this the right thing for me to do or not? Because we're so biased for ourselves, obviously, and we want to do anything that we can, we have to make a proper cheshbon, and many times we can't. Therefore, we have to ask for outside help in order to get a proper perspective that we can go based on. Okay. Go on.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Ellie Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.